Hello, people. Welcome to our little podcast. That's time to introduce ourselves. You probably know one or two of us. So, Slinky, Adam, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Slinky, AC YouTuber with Ethan and all of them. So yeah,
Yeah, we're the underdog sort of thing, really. But we're rising.
yeah, slowly, but yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, we are. We are sort of still. I'm still an underdog, and I've got about 1.4 thousand subscribers.
Hey, you grow so ridiculously quickly. It's
I know.
unbelievable.
I shared my channel to a couple of forums a while back. I stopped doing that about, I don't know, a while back now, and it still grows. So I don't think that actually had any reason for the growth.
No, it could be because you troll
Yeah, it could be because
lasers
I
in live
troll
streams.
games so much. Yeah, that would make sense.
You get so much exposure when lasers are like going, Ethan, it's gotta be Ethan. It was like, who's Ethan? So they go check you out, and
Yeah, no, that they probably like check the comments and look at the channel from there because I troll so much. I'm actually in. Do you know Dynamite? I'm actually in his recommended box now.
seriously,
Yeah,
nice one.
that.
He's a good YouTuber in China. Right?
Yeah. He's great.
That story you told yesterday was hilarious.
What one he told? The one that
With the bike,
the bike. Let me think.
and like, it's like your man bailed from the bike.
Oh right.
Were you not there? Were you
Uh,
not there?
the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there for the entire thing,
Wow.
and I made it into it in like the last 40 minutes or so. I was the center of attention, but
Hashtag, what was it? Hashtag Ethan.
joins.
Ethan joins. Yeah, that's gotta be a thing now. That's
It is
got.
a thing.
Well, we gotta make it bigger.
Yeah,
Hashtag Ethan
I'll
joins.
end up in every stream soon. Like go on to go on to Syndicate's channel and put hashtag Ethan joins.
When Ubisoft are live streaming AC.
Hashtag Ethan joins. Well, you just hear like these angels, like the angel like chorus thing,
Yeah.
and then I appear out of nowhere and start talking about old men caressing each other with sunflower oil on their hands. Like I told that story yesterday, but anyway, what are the topics at hand?
Um.
I've set him off on one now. It's going to be difficult.
All right, I'll try to stop. Okay. E3. Just talk about E3, I guess. Um.
Yes.
Should we start off with AC? I guess.
Yeah, we'll start off with Assassin's Creed. Let's start off on our strongest foot, like we're walking onto a ship.
Okay. So are you hyped for AC this year? For E3?
Syndicate.
Yeah.
I can't say that I am. I mean, Unity last year was a major letdown, and by that I mean a bigger letdown than Assassin's Creed 3 was for me. But Assassin's Creed 3, I was satisfied with it to a point,
Hmm.
but however, it's just it isn't it isn't it isn't the same as it used to be. The hype train used to be so rich, and every time there was a hype train, the game was let down. I made a video yesterday addressing this. You know how I said basically it's like Black Flag all over again.
Yeah.
So the game's probably going to bring the series back to its feet,
Yeah.
but that's because people aren't expecting anything of it.
Same
Not
thing.
because the game is necessarily good. Like Black Flag, it was good, but nobody expected anything from it, and that's why it was so good. That's why Assassin's Creed 3 and Unity weren't liked by so many people. They were expected to be good, but there were letdowns.
Same kind of thing with AC one to two, innit? It was just AC one was kind of let some people down, but still quite a big fan base
I,
for it. And
I,
then
I honestly think that Assassin's Creed 1 wasn't bad.
yeah, it
If you
was
look at it, if the Assassin's Creed 1 was released this year, I'd have committed suicide, but, you know, it wasn't that bad for its time, really.
yeah. You look back and you think, okay, well that was 2007. Just it
Yeah,
was good for its
it
time.
is almost 10 years ago now. It's 8 years.
Yeah.
It is a long time ago.
I was just thinking that there's a certain few elements to Syndicate that I'm a bit skeptical about.
Yep.
like the grappling hook, is that gonna turn into a? Is that just gonna completely take away the parkour? Because I love climbing buildings in the games, but I was wondering, is it just gonna be? Well, I couldn't be bothered climbing that. Just shoot the grappling hook, whatever it's called. And can it be? Can it be overused? Like, is there? You have to buy them, or do they recharge, or what? Like,
The grappling hook. Well, I reckon it's going to be just. Yeah, I just think it's going to be like the grappling hook in Just Cause,
yeah,
how it's basically unlimited and you can do whatever you want with it. I believe it's going to be like that. Really, I believe what happens is it's not going to be like a rope dart because basically it fires out of his gauntlet
hmm
and then he sort of like reels it in to pull himself up.
yeah.
So it goes back into his gauntlet, and if you can use it again and again and again, because it just goes back in where it came from. It's the same wire, everything you do.
But
But what I don't understand is the zip wire in the demo. It's seemingly one end attached to thin air, and the
yeah,
other end attached to a rooftop, and it still managed to withstand like Jacob as he slid down and air assassinated that dude. It's like what?
yeah.
What?
Like, when he shoots it, does it go off in two directions or what? Like, that's what I didn't really understand.
Uh, I do believe he fires one in that way and one in the other. And when that happens, I don't understand. It doesn't go back in. So, yeah, logic. Don't question it.
It's like
At all.
I can see why they brought it in because the streets are really wide in London, especially around the more richer parts.
It, yeah, it's basically an opportunity for more bare beast mode takedowns, in it?
Yeah, like
With
in
like fire
Revelations.
and yeah, it's an assassination technique,
Yeah,
and it's also quite good with infiltration, I believe. So it's going to be interesting.
yeah. Like, do you remember when the original screenshots leaked and he kind of shot it up into there and kind of swung in?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That could be
Uh,
quite interesting.
it doesn't look too bad.
No, the carriages is another thing I'm a bit skeptical about.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Is it going to take away from running around the city? Is it going to be like Grand Theft Assassin's Creed or what? Like,
Grand Theft Templar,
I just it's
Grand Theft Juno.
Grand Theft Juno.
Yeah, that
Why?
one.
Why Juno?
I don't know. Juno. It has to be the sass, and Juno is the sass of Assassin's Creed. She's like the only character who lets you down year in, year out.
Yeah, I'm going to take over the world. Oh wait, I'm not powerful enough yet.
Yeah, I know, but you are 70,000 years old. Jesus Christ.
I'll be powerful in 20 games
70,000
time.
years of experience, still no more powerful than a regular human. A human in a really, really drapey like robe and a weird like I don't get it. How can anyone hold up that hairstyle where basically they have hair going out to what the past the door basically. So they've got like a 2 foot, 3 foot hair span. Like
Wow,
yeah.
Juno. Um, what else is there about Syndicate? Do you reckon that it will have a good story?
I'm not actually sure because the hype train is very much so like Black Flag. Like Unity was very much so like Assassin's Creed 3 and Assassin's Creed 1. And Assassin's Creed Black Flag didn't have the best of stories. And that was after a really dull hype. And I don't know why I'm relating it through that because it makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah,
But I don't actually know because there's no way of telling whether it's going to have a decent story or if it's going to be like Black Flag and just be all about the gameplay and the bare Arab cash.
yeah. Like do you know Darby McDevitt, the writer of Black Flag?
Yeah,
I think he's writing Syndicate. I think he is because
you reckon?
yeah, I looked it up
Oh
to
yeah,
see.
he's very cryptic in what he posts on like Twitter and etc. Because he said something about the writer for Assassin's Creed Syndicate being good, and he's known to be very cryptic about what he says, isn't he?
Yeah, and I looked it up. I wanted to find out who was writing it. Was it Corey May or was it someone different? Like they had Travis Stout for Unity, and it said Darby McDevitt, lead
I don't.
writer on Syndicate.
To be honest with you, the problem with Unity on release, besides from the hype train, wasn't the story at all. I think that was decent to relatively all right at
Yeah,
best. So, but it's no lower than decent. So that's not the problem. The problem was the gameplay. So I wouldn't mind the writer for Unity being the writer for Syndicate. It's just I hope that Ubisoft Quebec do a better job than Montreal ever did, because Montreal haven't brought us a good game when it comes to Assassin's Creed since what game was it, you reckon?
Since like the last really really great Assassin's Creed game, do you mean?
Yeah,
Brotherhood.
Brotherhood, yeah. I think Revelations is quite good as well.
It's a game I've never really given much of a chance. I've played through it once and I didn't really like it for some reason, but I want to give it another chance. But I'll play it soon
Yeah,
enough now.
it's a very densely packed game. I mean, the city's quite large. It's not as big as Rome, but the buildings are closer.
Mhm.
It's Brotherhood has buildings like Assassin's Creed 3. You've got to use trees to get between them, sort of thing. But in Brotherhood, there are no trees, and you've just got to use the ground
Yeah,
and horses. So basically, what the difference between Revelations and Brotherhood is in Revelations you can parkour around the entire map without touching the ground more than like once, and that's to swim across the river.
yeah,
But Assassin's Creed 2 cities, Florence, Venice, oh, so many memories.
yeah. And I just
Oh, da, da, da.
but the
Yeah, no.
soundtrack amazing. Oh my god.
Yeah, I think the best soundtrack in Assassin's Creed is a very, very, very highly debated topic in gaming because Assassin's Creed 2 had a great soundtrack. Dare me say it, Assassin's Creed 3 had an amazing one as well. Revelations did. Brotherhood didn't even have a soundtrack. Not sure about Assassin's Creed 1, but Revelations 3 and 2 had great soundtracks. And Black Flags wasn't too bad, and Unity's, well, it was satisfactory.
Yeah, it was okay, but like I don't even yeah. You know, you said that the older ones didn't even really have like a soundtrack. Like one, it had that kind of constant replaying music. It had like 5 songs and it didn't even have a main theme.
Yeah, I know. Neither did Brotherhood, to be honest with you. But Brotherhood was basically 2. It did have the same soundtrack, basically.
Yeah,
Although I do believe the combat music took to the soundtrack of Brotherhood. Assassin's Creed 1's main theme was the chase music, I think. People
yeah,
just stuck to the chase music, which was people say it's good, but I think it's really dull and it's got the atmosphere in it, but
yeah,
isn't it isn't satisfactory to me. I don't like it. I think it's a waste of good composers really to be making music like that in a game that should have a good soundtrack because that's the one thing that I would hate if they ever remade it. If they just used the same soundtracks, they'd need to expand because soundtracks are now a very, very what's the word?
important.
They're important in a game. They're important in the game's story. If you can, the scene, sometimes the scene doesn't matter. You just have to get the soundtrack right and the timing of the soundtrack right, and then that's what makes the chills go down. Is behind the soundtrack in the background, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
but it's like the AC1 soundtrack was okay when you're playing the game. Like the chase theme was good when you've just assassinated someone, and it's like
what
get away now. It was quite intense,
what
but
do you think the best chase theme is in Assassin's Creed?
oh, that's a good one. I think Brotherhood.
I honestly think Assassin's Creed 3's Trouble in Town is a great soundtrack.
Yeah, that's really good.
I mean, when you're chasing Charles Lee, it gives you bare chills even thinking about it right now. It's giving me like goosebumps all over my arms and my face and my. Yes, my I have weird facial hair. This is how it works in this world.
But what I liked about Brotherhood, do you know what the? I think it's called the Assassin's Escape. It more so played if you called in your assassins and then you all scattered.
Yeah.
That was really good. Um, have you got anything else to add to that?
Well, in Brotherhood, when I played it and I played it to death, I became a multi-millionaire with florins. I made it rain on the people just for banter. This is after I completed the game. I made it rain, and
Wow.
so what basically I did was sometimes I actually called in assassins just because I'm not going to say I'm the best fighter in Assassin's Creed gaming, but I'm not bad.
No, it's
And I'm going to be big headed and say I'm probably better than lasers at combat because sometimes James just misses everything, and it's like it. And when I watch Assassin's Creed gameplay in general, I cannot watch it. It makes me cringe. No
yeah,
matter who does it, it will always make me cringe. Don't you get that?
yeah.
Because the character feels stocky even when watching it. It makes you cringe.
Or if you ever,
Even when James plays it, it's like you think? I mean, James is good at the game. So are you. So is like Tom. But I cannot sit there for half an hour watching Assassin's Creed gameplay because the character looks so stocky and so bulky that you always think that the person controlling it isn't doing it quite how you would. So
Yeah,
it makes you sort of cringe in a way. But this is with everyone, the combat especially when they miss a counter, because I rarely miss counters, and that it makes me sort of go. And Black Flag when you get shot, Jesus Christ, it makes me cringe when I'm playing it. It makes me want to what draw a knife to my throat and
yeah. I hate watching walkthroughs of Assassin's Creed games, especially like three. Do you know when the DLCs came out?
yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
I didn't have the money to buy them at the time, so I'll probably get them when I get my PC. But I was watching walkthroughs of it, and I was watching people like do combat,
And
and
it was so painful
yeah, because
because they got hit so much.
and they're making the same mistakes. You know how like you can't press like the counter kill button for the big heavy guy.
Yeah,
They
yeah, yeah.
kept making the same mistakes, and I'm sitting there going, "Oh my
You,
god, you press counter and then
yeah,
you break his defense."
that's the main thing. If you're gonna play a game and you want to do it right, that game has to be Assassin's Creed because otherwise it's just not going to look good. Because Assassin's Creed is really easy when I think of it in the long term. Even Unity is quite easy,
Yeah.
and people who play it, you just think, oh, why are they doing it like this?
Why are
It looks
you
like they don't actually
struggling?
have any bulk in them. I mean, I can't even watch my own Assassin's Creed gameplays because it makes me physically, mental. But I'm sure everyone watching this podcast knows exactly what I mean.
Yeah,
The bulk
it's
of Assassin's Creed 3, the noises when running across the building, it's very calm. And with no background music or anything, you just think, what is this? And when you play it, you can't really hear your footsteps, but when you watch back, you're like, it doesn't even feel realistic.
yeah.
And the main thing that makes it so cringy is that I think it has to be the bulk in the characters. In Unity, they got rid of that, and it was the combat and the stealth
Hmm.
and somewhat the parkour. But there's always a reason why you can't really sit there and watch Assassin's Creed gameplay non-stop.
Yeah, it just feels really weird to watch gameplay. I
You,
don't know what it is.
you know how they had in the Arkham Knight trailer where there was that woman who was sat with the controller basically above her head playing it?
Yeah,
When you watch an Assassin's Creed gameplay, no matter who it's from, you think that they're holding a controller like that, pressing the wrong buttons all the time. That's it is basically that, isn't it?
it's like it says like press X. All right, just gotta find X now.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I gotta find X, I gotta find B, I gotta find this, I gotta find Y, I've gotta find I've got to find circle, triangle, square, like L2, L1, R2, R1 or right trigger or left bumper or something.
Oh
And
God, imagine if they got those people to play on PC with keyboard.
it is a very very fiddly game. Assassin's Creed you want a controller for because you want to be fluid and the keyboard and mouse is not fluid. In Unity, it's a great system to use because it is so simple with Unity's controls, but like Black Flag and etc. is too bulky and too you know the character's so bulky you need a controller to be able to control them correctly.
Like I
And
was
when your controller's calibrated to NVIDIA Shield when it's a 360 controller, things get a bit difficult.
yeah, like I bought AC2 on Steam there while it was on sale about 4 or 5 months ago, and my PC can't run it very well, but I just wanted to play it anyways, and I was trying to figure out the controls because like in the little buttons what to press in the top right hand corner.
Oh yeah, they're different on Assassin's Creed 1 and 2. It has like the green hand and the red hand and the other
Yeah,
buttons. It
I,
is really weird. Even with the controller, it has those hands and it even the controls. You can never get the controls right on with the 360 controller on Assassin's Creed 2. You have to press right bumper to run when it would usually be right trigger. It's like, oh, this is not how I remember it, and you just can't play it because it's so annoying.
yeah.
I mean, I can't really play it because it's a broken game on PC anyway. Because after one point, the game just completely freezes, and then you can't play it. But you can still open the pause menu and do all that nice stuff. But the
Yeah.
gameplay itself just freezes.
Do you know like in AC2 though? Like what I find really weird is that how like before they had kind of low profile, high profile, but they had different you can kind of go in between like fast walking and all that. I found it really weird. Did you press like W, right click, and shift and space or something like that to run?
W and space to fast walk.
Yeah, but like to sprint and to climb, you had to press
Sprint
like
is W and shift in the newer games. W, shift, and space in the older ones. But really, they've got rid of the high profile in the recent games, so it's basically W and shift, and that's it. And space is just used to jump.
yeah. Um, Speaking of like PC and all that, do you reckon that they might optimize it for a change for this year?
What did you think that actually write the codes?
Yeah,
No,
and
I honestly think it's going to be. It's not going to be a perfect optimization because it's Ubisoft, and Ubisoft can't optimize for a console, let alone a computer. But that I just don't know. I think it will be all right. I think, but nobody can optimize quite like Rockstar can. I've noticed that recently. Every game that's come out in the past year or so has not had the best optimization. The bugs in the game have sort of broken it in a way for PC
yeah,
because I've played quite a few games out of recent years that just don't run on my PC because they're badly optimized. Like the Arkham games, not the best when it comes to optimization. Assassin's Creed, no. Watch Dogs, that game doesn't even run unless you have the highest spec computer in the world. Um,
get like
Other
cinematic
games,
20 frames per
even
second.
I played Call of Duty Advanced Warfare on my PC once. That didn't run.
And you should be able to run UFO 660, don't you?
Yeah, that's
That
more powerful than a PS4's graphics card.
yeah.
So it should, in theory, work, but it doesn't.
I think Black Ops 2 was meant to be actually a pretty good port.
Yeah, but Black Ops 2 was released back in 2012, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'd
That's the
hate.
point. It's the last year or so since Black Flag isn't the best optimized. Neither's 3 actually. They're both a bit meh. Don't work.
I watched a benchmark for 3 on the GTX 970 because that's the GPU I'm going to be getting. And like it says how much CPU cores it's actually using.
Yeah.
It was using 100% of all the cores and is only getting like 45 frames per second.
Yeah, well that's down to the processor, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the RAM. Because if you've only got about 2 gigabytes of RAM, you're not going to get very far with gaming.
No, I don't know. I was watching this on YouTube, like, and he
Back
was
when it was cool.
running like an i5 3570K or something like that, and it was
3570K.
yeah,
Let me have a look at the speed on that little thing. i5 3570K. That is a thing. That is a thing.
yeah.
3.8 gigahertz should run it. I mean, the processor I'm looking at is about 3.5 gigahertz, and that's an i5 4690K. That's what I want to get.
Yeah, I'm
Right
getting
now,
that
I've
as
got an
well.
i5 4440, which is not quite as powerful,
No,
but
see, you can't overclock it, can you?
well, yeah, I can because it's a quad-core processor and it should be fine. But I don't want to because A, I don't know what I'm doing, and B, if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to mess it up because the overclock, you really need to know what you're doing. The rest of it, you don't need to know squat to build a computer
No,
yourself. You don't really need to know anything. You can just do it. It's just put this here, there, install Windows OS or Linux or
yeah,
some other operating system that isn't Apple because Apple probably don't sell their operating systems to custom builds.
no, they
And
don't.
I don't think so. I think it's just Linux and Windows.
Or Steam OS.
Steam have an OS.
Yeah.
That's why they have their own browser. Feisty little fudge cakes.
What's your? Oh, I should move on to different games actually now for E3 or
Yeah. Go ahead.
um impressions on Star Wars Battlefront
Oh,
12.
Battlefront 3. Yeah, they have said that it's not going to be as good as Battlefront 2, basically. They said that they've removed space battles,
Which is
and they've
stupid.
yeah, I know that was in Battlefront 2 on my PSP. That was just what I did for like 6 days straight. Battles. It was so. It felt like you were actually like immersed in it as you did it because you felt like you were actually flying about doing this thing.
Yeah.
And on like a next gen platform, that must feel even better because it looks more realistic. It's a bigger screen. You feel the particle effect almost because the controller is so fluid, like on the DualShock 4. You know what I
Hmm.
mean, don't you? The
Yeah,
DualShock. It is a very good controller, I've heard.
it is really good. Like the just even for playing like first person shooters, like the dead zone on the analog sticks is just so much better. It feels more fluid to move your character around.
Yeah, I know. Have they moved one of the analog sticks a bit high, the left analog stick a bit higher up, and or are they both
Um,
in the same
I think they're
place?
the same.
Are they?
Yeah, I think they're both higher though than the PS3 one though.
Yeah, that that's okay. I mean, I didn't like the PS3 controller because it was a bit clunky and everything was sort of towards the it was towards the little groin bit you have on it, really. You know, between the two handles.
Yeah, the
But I've got a PS3 controller. It's like a 360 controller. It's bulky. One of the sticks is a bit higher. The well L2 and R2 are like triggers, and the L1 and L2 are like bumpers. And I got the pause. It's exactly the same. Just it's a PlayStation One version of a 360 controller.
yeah, like we bought a PlayStation 3 there for like Netflix and all that. We have it downstairs, and I was just holding the controller. I used to have a PS3, and like if you kind of like grab the, if you like the kind of grips down the sides of it.
Yeah,
If you kind of do that and kind of like twisted it a little bit, just not like break it, but you know the way like if you hold like a 360 controller, it feels really sturdy.
yeah. 360 controller is a very good controller. It's very it fits into your hand. It's bulky and that's the other problem with the DualShock 3. It was very small and very fiddly.
Yeah, like you could actually hear it cracking, well not cracking, but kind of creaking and all that. Like the plastic isn't properly put together.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It wasn't. It isn't the best controller. I do think the one controller that nobody would ever be able to use very well has to be the Wii remote
Yeah,
because that thing drives us to genocide. It makes you want to go out there and kill everyone at Nintendo. It is that bad. Although the GameCube had a pretty cracking controller, and I like that one.
like but like with the Wii controller, if you turned around like and you
Y-
turned,
Your character would go about what 1,600 degrees in
yeah,
like a weird spinny frenzy, and just
yeah,
be going 360 over and over again, like whoop 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 whoop, and you just be like, please stop, I want to play the game.
it's like that Connect. When the Connect was first revealed,
Yep.
and that your man did the wow. Do you know what the bottom of his shoe looks like for an avatar? And you just
But
put it up, and it kind of glitched out a little bit. It's just so stupid. Like I hate
yeah,
motion controls.
Assassin's Creed Connect would be the best thing ever, purely because it would be an excuse to faceplant the floor in your own home.
Did Did you
I
see
made
that
this
video as
joke
well?
with a friend like 2 years ago. We basically said Assassin's Creed Connect, warehouse not included. And it's you can just imagine it, can't you?
Yeah,
You need a warehouse for that game. You don't need a room. If it's on Connect, you need a warehouse.
it's just it'd be ridiculous. Like imagine like trying to do parkour with that. Like you'd be like just in your sitting room from pretending to climb up things.
Yeah,
I want it.
yeah, I know. I, I honestly think it'll be a bit tedious and a bit, all right. So you can't play this game with a broken leg. That much is certain.
Anyways, back to Battlefront. We kind of got off the track there.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I don't know why they didn't bring back Space Battles. I suppose it's because they're trying to make it their own game, and it's the first attempt at a Battlefront game in 10 years. So I suppose they're just trying to get I guess, the blocks laid out so that they can build upon it for sequels.
yeah, yeah. I know what you mean.
Um, it, I like the graphics, and I like the fact that um, they're keeping some of the things from like the original trilogy in there. Like, do you know how the stormtroopers or the rebels they never actually aimed; they just kind of hip fired. They prayed and sprayed.
Yeah, I know what you mean. They sort of fired everywhere and never hit you, like in the film sort of thing. They
Yeah,
would shoot everywhere, but where the target was. Sort of like a, and they'd be like, "Stop, calm down, please."
um, but I just don't like the idea of having air battles. That just kind of annoys me.
Yeah, an air battle a day keeps the stormtroopers away.
I just don't see the point in it because it's like if you're going to put it up in the air, you may as well put it up in space. Like, in all honesty,
Yeah.
like how hard would it take just to even put them up in space?
Although I Although when the game first announced, we really did expect that seamlessness that Alex Amancio is always talking about. You know, where you could just be in an air battle in like the atmosphere of a planet, then go up to space in a dogfight.
Yeah,
Although when you go into space, I don't think it classes as a dogfight anymore,
no.
and I don't get it how you know how they can still shoot in space
Mhm.
when there's no G-force there. How does it work?
Logic.
Logic. Star Wars plasma must have I believe they are. I believe there's what they must have some form of control on them. They're not bullets. That much we know.
No. Science, science, yeah, science.
Science, yeah, that explains it. It's all down to pure science.
Actually, I want to figure that out now. I'm going to look that up after now.
Yeah.
Um, what other games? Black Ops 3.
Oh God.
What the hell have they done?
They've basically amputated your character's limbs and turned them into robots.
Yeah,
They are You do realise that that's what they've done with it. That then they are not real limbs. They are robotic.
yeah,
In the trailer, they are literally voluntary limb replacements. It's like how is this going to help when you're not killing people? You
yeah.
detach your arms at night and sleep.
like, how is that going to work if you want to make some bread and butter? You have to hold it. You have to hold it with one hand, and then. Oh yeah, wait, no, the other hand. Okay, that.
They're
Just ignore
completely
that.
functional as normal limbs. They're just mechanical.
Oh my god, I'm sick of futuristic shooters.
Yeah, I know. Call of Duty was good when they focused on the world wars and stuff like that. After that, I lose interest, and the game turns into what? It turns into the Third World War where nobody's using a tactical nuke,
No,
and you're like,
always.
they would use them. They
They.
would, because first of all, that's like 40, 50 years in the future, isn't it?
Mhm.
And they're using the same guns as we would, basically, with the exception of basically about 300,000 ray guns that just don't exist in anything but the zombies mode.
Yeah, zombies. That's what I'm looking forward to.
I honestly don't like the zombies, to be honest with you. I've never really played much of Call of Duty recently. Of the recent games, the only Call of Duty I actually have has to be Call of Duty 2. That's a really old game, and it was good.
That was
It,
a 360 launch title, wasn't it?
yeah,
That was good, but how can you not like zombies? Like, did you play Black Ops 1 Zombies?
yeah, I did with a couple of friends a while back about when it was like the thing, and I was sat there sort of like, well, this is just you have to work your ass off to be on the same map, and it's like it doesn't affect anything, and I don't understand why I would need to play this to enjoy myself because I just don't really enjoy zombies, to be honest. I'm not a zombie person. I mean,
I, I guess some people don't like it, but
yeah, I know it just doesn't strike to my it doesn't strike me in any way. I mean, zombies, dead people. Yeah, I get it. Zombie games are a big like blockbuster opportunity for most companies, and everyone wants a bit of Dead Rising in their life, don't they? But that's like the only zombie game I can handle.
yeah,
Left 4
or
Dead and Dead Rising are like the best zombie games out there.
Left 4 Dead is really good.
I don't know about Dead Rising being the best, but Left 4 Dead is great.
What about Dying Light? Do you ever play that?
No, I haven't played that yet, and that does look good. It's like Assassin's Creed in first person with zombies. It's basically Far Cry with parkour and zombies everywhere.
And some sort of Mirror's Edge mixed in there.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, basically, yeah. Far Cry, Mirror's Edge, and and Left 4 Dead really.
Is there any other games that have caught your eye for E3 this year?
Um, Fallout 4 is basically the one that's taking the mantle from me at the moment. Assassin's Creed Syndicate has struck me, but I'm not over the moon about it.
No.
But Fallout 4, that game looks good. It looks like Fallout's never let anyone down really. So I suppose it's gonna. It looks like it can take the mantle for the one like game of the year or something, but the placeholder date is New Year's Eve of this year. But I do believe that it'll be coming out next year, so you know.
Yeah, I presume there'll be like a 25-minute demo as they usually have at press conferences, but like Bethesda, they always have like really long demos to show off their world.
Do they? I don't remember there ever actually being a Skyrim demo besides from killing a giant from inside a tower to use that as cover. That's about all I remember from Skyrim. Having a massive axe, killing a dragon, then and a giant, and then the Dragonborn shouting Dovahkiin, and that never happened in the game. He never spoke. The Witcher 3 looks like it could be Game of the Year because nothing at E3 looks as what's the word? Nothing looks as good as that does. I mean, I haven't played it, but from what James says and what other people say, it seems like a great game.
Yeah, it seems the most promising thing that's come out this year. There's
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that there's something better comes, but that's because I want like I like games coming out that just towards the year like E3. I like to be excited for something. The Witch 3 did excite me quite a lot, and it looks great, especially with those 2 times maximum hair tessellation. Geralt looks like half his hair lost its gel, but 16 times maximum hair tessellation is just bay.
it is Bay, but I just hear I think this whole Nvidia thing is getting a bit ridiculous. Like, do you remember when AC4 came out
Yep.
and they did like an Nvidia video showing off the new smoke effects?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, I could have sworn Snoop Dogg was smoking there.
Snoop Dogg was smoking weed every day with those smoke effects. Have you
He
seen
was.
the 3D smoke effects that you can get with NVIDIA GPUs now? It's like, who wants a 3D television just for that?
I haven't seen them, but to be honest,
You need
3D
like a
gaming.
really high-end graphics card, and in
Yeah,
Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, there's like a 3D thing, and Batman Arkham Origins, that's a 3D thing. That game
really.
ain't very well optimized either, and it doesn't really work. Hopefully, Batman Arkham Knight, which comes out later this month, is gonna be good because that could be Game of the Year. Like, Arkham City was like second to Game of the Year only to Skyrim back in
Yeah.
2011. And I mean,
Um.
Skyrim was a Bethesda title that was just it was outstanding back then. And with all the mods that's come out since, it is one of two things. Well, it's two of one thing. No, it's two of two things. It is great and it is ruined.
It's great, but why? Hang on. Why do are you saying that mods ruined Skyrim?
No, I'm saying that some mods made it amazing, some mods killed it.
Yeah. Okay. Like, I suppose like the graphics mods or just
The
generally.
EMBs made it so it made it beautiful. The EMBs and the etc. But I never installed one because I used Clement's Tamriel Overhaul and some other saturation mod that made it like I made it made it vibrant and I made it more contrasted because the world is very bone dry to start with. It's not very contrasted,
Yeah.
so I had to install a couple of mods. And when I did that, I said, "Oh, let's install some quest mods." This is an idea I'll later regret. I installed quite a few, then I installed some armor mods, and then I installed some other mods, and now I can't play the game because I got about 200 mods.
Oh, wow. I suppose
And I can't really go back to it because I damaged the load order. So, I've got to sort that out, otherwise it won't work. And it lags to death now, so I've got to like delete everything and then it should be fine. But the thing
yes.
is with that, then you break the game because it's missing the files. Because
Yeah.
some mods actually replace the game files.
Oh, seriously?
Yes, so basically I have to reinstall the game to solve that.
That's a bit bad. That's terrible. They shouldn't mess with game code or game files.
Yeah,
They
no, but
shouldn't.
that's what some mods do. Some mods are meant to enhance the game through the code, like speed and etc. And I find those mods to be all right. But you need a script extender to be able to do things and not end up with a really bad game. Luckily for me, I have one of those, but still, the game does get broken. The game is broken on release anyway. The game
Yeah.
has game-breaking bugs, like it has gameplay like ruining bugs where you can't play forward. Like in a DLC, if you read the book before you're ordered to by the quest log in this Dragon Ball DLC, the first book you come across, if you don't read that before you get the objective to do so, then you'll just be sat there looking up at some guy for about 2 hours as he does nothing, and then the game crashes probably.
Skyrim was very bad. It's like my friend he played Skyrim on 360 like so much, but whatever way he did the order of his quests, he can't finish it. But he was so close to like 100% in the game.
There's no 100% in the game because there are so many random quests that just keep replenishing. Because
Seriously,
the same quest replenishes after and over again, and you just like it's Dark Brotherhood or Thieves Guild. You always get other things to do. There's always something to do. Nobody can ever get that 100% complete because what they do is they sort of, with everything in it, it is just so much to do that they can't actually get that far.
yeah. I suppose. But anyways, what happened was that the way he did the order of the quest, nothing else showed up,
Yeah.
no matter what he did. So he couldn't do anything else in the game but just walk around.
Uh, do they kill everyone?
I don't know. I'll ask him that
Because you
actually
can't
next
really
time.
kill everyone.
Hmm?
Some people are just immortal and stuff.
Yeah, if they're kind of characters that are important to the
If they're
storyline or just.
essential,
Hmm?
if they're essential in Skyrim, they went down to the knees.
Yeah, yeah,
If they were essential in Oblivion, they got knocked out. If they were essential in Morrowind, they died.
yeah.
And you would
Seriously,
get a notification saying that you have doomed the world, basically. It
brilliant. Well done.
says
Uh,
continue in this doomed universe or reload, basically is what it said.
would you actually would you rather like a Fallout with Fallout 4? Would you like a system where you can actually kill off characters, or would you like to keep it like with Skyrim?
I like a multi-choice
Yeah.
system, honestly.
Um. Actually, do you know Dishonored? Is that made by Bethesda?
But Dishonored isn't made by Bethesda, it is just published by them.
All right, because Bethesda. I was going to say Bethesda 2. Dishonored 2 got leaked last night.
Did it?
Yeah. The the devs accidentally live streamed talking about Dishonored 2.
Dishonored 2, I don't see how that gets a leak, because it had closure to the story.
Yeah, I'm gonna double check that now because I was watching. Do you know Call to Much, the YouTuber that does like benchmarks and all that and PC builds?
Mm. I
Um,
suppose.
on oh god, how's it Dishonored 2?
Looks like they have leaked Dishonored 2. I'll have to make a video about that at some point.
Yeah, because you really like it. You really like all those kind of
Dishonored is a
Bethesda
great
type
game.
games.
I don't care what anyone like James says about the game. It is amazing. It is, unlike Assassin's Creed, the game is actually an Assassin's game.
Yeah, and that's what I miss about AC. Like AC Unity did this pretty well, where you assassinate.
Basic Unity was an Assassin's game, there is no doubt about it.
Like 3 was just.
But, but Dishonored is one of the best Assassin's games going out there.
Yeah, I never played Dishonored, and I need to.
It's like, it's a revenge-driven
Oh,
plot where your characters are mute, but he is so badass
yeah,
in what he does. Because he's basically like a magician,
that's cool.
because he has a gift.
Kind of like Bioshock, is it? And anyway, like Bioshock.
It's very much so like Bioshock. It's just,
Is there any other games from E3 that caught the eye? Do you reckon Arkham Knight will get some sort of demo, seeing that it's so close to release, or even a trailer?
we, have we not already seen a demo for Arkham Knight?
Yeah, but do you reckon it'll be one that's actually at E3 this year?
I can't tell you because I don't know. But I hope that we get to see something about, the I would like to see something about it.
Yeah, maybe make some sort of big reveal or.
What time did Dishonored 2 get leaked last night?
Um, I'll link you the video actually while we're here.
I, I just want to know because I've got, I just like time wise because I want to know if I've actually missed something because I was
Mhm.
must have been in American last night because I wasn't up at that time.
No, it was quite late. I think like this video went up kind of late. Hang on, pause. don't want to place them random.
Seems absolutely legit with a double I.
Here we go. I got the video here. I'll see if there's like see if you put like an article in it or anything. Yeah, it
Seems
was on
legit.
Dual Shockers. Yeah, there's an update to this story now.
What is it?
Um,
Come on, let me have a look. Dishonored 2 leak. Let's have a look. 14 hours ago, that was 11 p.m. here. No, I was up at that time. I've missed something. I have. I have missed something. There's a website. Or is there a video on it? Because I don't want to like interrupt the. Oh, look at this. This is Bay. But it can't be about Corvo because Corvo's been Bethesda accidentally went live on Twitch and we're discussing the conference. Dishonored 2 is happening.
yeah.
I'm gonna print screen that because I have to. I'm gonna put it in Safe Raw Plus to use in my video I'm gonna upload later about it.
Yeah, it's like, well done to them anyways. Do you reckon they did that on purpose?
Bethesda aren't that
No,
stupid.
I reckon.
They were deliberately doing it and they were pretending that it was accident. That's what I think. Bethesda aren't that stupid.
I suppose.
It is for sure.
I'm trying to think about any other games. Actually, do you reckon there'll be something major for Syndicate this year? I know we're going back to AC. I know we said to move on, but something
Oh,
I
I don't know. It is a game in itself. I don't know anything about, and the less we know before release, the better. I
yeah,
think
Unity.
because we knew everything about Unity before it was released. I even estimated that Elise would die. Spoiler alert!
Yeah,
But
that was pretty obvious though.
yeah. Because the moment Arno kissed Elise on the balloon, he's like, "Oh great, now we know she's gonna die."
Yes,
Because it just reminds me so much of the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Have you seen
yeah,
that
I've
film?
seen it.
Another spoiler alert. It's exactly like that. They get back together. Then the same day. It
It's a big cliche, really, isn't it?
is very cliche. It's just like, you got to be joking. Are you even human,
Do
mate?
you know what I found really stupid was that? Do you know you played Dead Kings, didn't you?
Dead Kings? Yeah, I did, but I couldn't play it because it was broken, more so than the actual game.
Did you see the bit where the woman that looks like Elise?
Yeah, she didn't even look like Elise, to be
No,
honest
but
with
she had the exact same clothes on, same hairstyle, and she ran the same as Elise.
you. Yeah, well, the Ubisoft can't really model women different from each other, apparently, so,
I thought,
I mean, isn't that against them now?
hmm?
Because they said that the reason they don't have a female protagonist is because they can't animate them too well. But we all know the truth behind it, don't we?
Yeah.
They just think they can sell more from a male protagonist, which I understand what they're saying, but it's crap. I mean, look at Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider sells really
Hmm.
well, doesn't it?
To be honest, I'd rather. You know how it's 75% of the game for Jacob and 25 for Evie? I would
Yeah,
rather the other way around. I think Evie seems more of an interesting character, at least at the moment for me.
yeah, I know what you mean.
I just like the idea of having a more kind of silent, smarter character instead of having another typical brash, charismatic.
Idiot. We have the village idiot year in, year out. We had Arno, we had Edward, we had Connor, and they're all the village idiot, really. Connor's too naive. Edward is basically air for most of the game, and Arno is a comedian
Yeah.
basically. And then we have
Ezio.
Ezio. He was the only one, and he started off as a village idiot as
Yeah.
well.
Now,
He was a bit air as well. In my honest
what do you mean by
opinion,
airy?
not toward not towards not towards like the end, but the start he was definitely quite stupid.
Yeah. Um,
He was very brash and very stupid, I reckon.
yeah, I'm just.
I reckon every Assassin's Creed character has its flaws. Ezio's were just executed so well that we were actually quite blind to
Yeah.
them.
Um,
And I understand that because we at least got a good character out of Ezio. We didn't get that from most other characters. I mean, Connolly we didn't get like the a character per se. We got a body basically, a body to kill people
Oh no, I
with.
like Connor.
I think he was he could have been a lot better.
Yeah, I just like.
There was something about him that just didn't work.
Yeah, I respect your opinion, but I just don't like when people give out to say or say, no, say Connor or Arno or Edward is a bad character because it's not
I
Ezio.
don't see him as a bad character. I just see him as a bit of a disappointment, really, is all, because he wasn't, what's the word? He couldn't really relate to him. I couldn't relate to him. I could relate to why he was doing it. I could understand, but I didn't really necessarily, there wasn't a reason why he was so naive. It was just justice, 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 and
And
it's usually revenge, but the thing is, Connor does claim to fight for justice, but there is a bit of revenge in there, if you ask me.
yeah,
He really wants to kill Charles Lee,
Lee.
even though it was revealed that in Assassin's Creed 3, you played through the game,
Yeah,
haven't you? It was revealed that the person who actually ordered the attack on the village was George Washington, but don't know if that was just a trick of the Templars or if that was actually legit.
I'd say it was legit because if that wasn't true, they would have said, you know,
Yeah, they would have revealed it afterwards, but if you think about things like, I don't know, you think about television series, they sort of drag it out a bit and they reveal everything later on in the
yeah,
series, and they have like this unnecessary, like, false hatred thing going on in the meantime between finding out the truth and learning the lie, I guess.
yeah.
Well, between learning the lie and finding out the truth, even.
And when you start to lose interest, they tell you what happened then.
Bethesda actually commented derp on their own stream when they realised they were streaming.
Oh, just judging by that, they knew what they were doing. I think
Yeah,
because
derp.
if they didn't do it on purpose, they'd be damage controlling a lot right now.
They will be quite annoyed, really, because they want to keep a surprise coming.
Yeah. Um. Anything else?
I'm gonna. I should tell my friend Jack about this because he likes Dishonored.
Dishonored is a game I really want to try. Stealth is really good.
James says it's not that good, but I've played it and I like it.
Do you reckon? Do you play the Hitman series?
Hitman, yeah, I played Absolution and Blood Money. They're the only ones that actually got around to playing. I have all the other ones like ready.
Do you reckon the new Hitman will get some sort of trailer this year?
Well, yeah, I do believe we'll probably. I don't know about. They've never really spoken about Hitman, have they?
They have said that they're making it, and this was about a year or maybe even 2 years ago. They said, "All right, we're making it," and it's going back to its roots of having, a,
It's going back to its roots of it's trying to. Basically meaning they're stopping to. They're going to stop trying to make him seem like a good person,
yeah,
the protagonist. Like with the film, they're not going to like portray him as a good
no,
character. No, well, not what I mean. You know
yeah,
what I mean. They're not going to try to portray him as a protagonist.
yeah, he's an antagonist.
No, no, he's an anti-hero. That's what he
Yeah,
is.
but like I hope,
I don't see him as an antagonist because that just means he's the bad guy. He's still the protagonist, but he's an anti-hero.
yeah, I suppose, yeah.
They're not trying to make him out to be a hero. Basically, what I'm trying to
Hmm.
say.
I hope they,
I can respect that. To be honest with you, I can respect that decision to make him seem like a bit of a. He's a bit of a nifty character,
mm,
really.
I hope they,
That's my honest opinion right now. That 47 is a bit. He's not. He isn't. He isn't really like. He's like. He's not very emotion. He's not like. He's not got the emotions because he's like a tank bred human, really, isn't
mm,
he?
he just kills.
He is a killer.
But, do you know like Blood Money? Did it have that system from Absolution that if you kill in creative ways, you got more points or you got ranked or wherever it is?
I don't actually know. I don't think so.
Because that system in Absolution was so contradictory.
That system in Absolution, I don't understand how people got like 80,000
Yeah,
points
because
because I was getting negative on everything because the stealth is it's not something to behold.
no, it was a bit broken at times.
Yeah,
Just mainly, like, I mean, like in terms of seeing, like, guards could see you and all that's basic stealth, but in terms of level design, like where guards were placed or something like that, Like, do
Yeah.
you know the mission where you have to kill your man in Chinatown?
Yep. That
Yeah,
one.
you had to. There's a way of doing it. You had to go down an alleyway, and you had to.
I'm blown up in a car.
Yeah, it was just so.
I never actually saw that way.
Well, blowing up a car.
Blowing it. Well, I didn't know how to get into the car because he just seemed to sit there in the in like the what like the dome bit
Yeah, no,
with everyone. I just wasn't patient. I don't
no, you had to
think.
be really patient. Mission. He kind of started walking around the place. Like he started going onto the phone with someone speaking about drugs. So what I did in the mission is I went off and I found this poisonous fish and I mixed it in with the drugs.
Wow. Well, I made a video of myself derping about on that mission last year, so I'll find that. I'll find that for
Yeah,
you.
link it to me.
I called it like Hitma because I called it Hitman, but then it's like Hitma.
Hit ma.
I made it 8 months ago. It's got 74 views. Enjoy.
Seven.
Don't ask.
Oh shit! No, crap. Go away, guys. Good.
Try not to play audio either, but
You know, it's something to watch afterwards, I
Yeah.
guess. And it is. I did basically kill him too hard.
So have you got anything else to say about E3 or anything like that?
No, not really. I've basically said everything that I want to talk about,
Same,
really.
yeah. So I guess we'll leave it there.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for coming on.
No worries, and thanks for coming on if it ends up on my channel as
All right.
well, which I'm pretty certain
Yeah.
it will. But thank you,
Thanks.
and
Bye.
thank me. Anyway, who's doing their famous outro? Am I going to do my outro, or is yours just simple bye?
We should have discussed this. um,
We should have discussed this. Should we do the legendary see ya, or should we do the legendary, what was your outro again?
bye.
Bye. Right, what do you
We'll
reckon we
do the
should do?
C, yeah.
Right, okay. 3, 2, 6, 5, 9. Right, okay, you do your see ya first, and I'll do mine.
See ya.
Bye.